Welcome to the NBA Pub Sports Radio. Tuesday, October 26th, Ian Cameron. We got Touch Boy Fresh. We got Trot Wham. We got Billy Briz ready to break down the Tuesday NBA card. And I like these slates when you've got a lesser number of games. 5 games, you can dissect the games a little bit further, analyze them a bit more, and we'll try to do that right here on this Tuesday edition of the NBA Pub Hub. We'll start with Philadelphia and New York. We've got the Knicks at MSG laying 2 points at home here, 216.5 the total in this game. Question marks about the status of Joel Embiid. Of course, you can expect that all season. I mean, there's going to be, I think, more games than not when he does show up on the injury report, and you're going to have to be on top of this, but he's still got the right knee that's wonky. We'll see if he suits up in this game. We'll see. We saw Beal play last night for Washington. You'd think that Embiid's going to try to power through this. He did play against OKC the other night, 22 points, 33 minutes. So I probably think he's going to play. We'll wait and see on that. They come off the win against OKC following the loss to Brooklyn. The Philadelphia 76ers. The Knicks just played back-to-back against Orlando, beat them down in Orlando, 121-96, but then returned home to Madison Square Garden, 12-point home favorites, and lost outright in the rematch against Orlando, 110-104. So it was a very, very rough game overall for the Knicks in the rematch here. We'll see if they're capable of bouncing back, but I'm definitely leaning to the Philadelphia side here, +2. +2.5 now starting to show up as well at a couple of books. If Embiid's in, this is absolutely a play for me. And even if he's not, it's still a strong lean for me to the Sixers here in this game. We'll go to Dutch here. What do you like here with the Sixers and the Knicks?
Yeah, my bad. I was just tweeting out the show. Big shout out to the chat. Say Real Deal Prime. Everybody in there, appreciate you all. Hit the motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane. An ice cream cake to get you right where you need to be. Now, we will get to the game real quick, Ian, but I got to touch a little bit on yesterday because it was a rough one for your boy. 2-4, and I was leaning like a motherfucker like the old Wheezy, and every single lean would hit, but my bets that I placed didn't go as planned. And blowouts are where props go to die, and that's what happened with the Clippers. We're on the right side, but then blowouts fucked us up. Yep. But it's Tombstone Tuesday. Your boy's out for blood. And the NBA, well, that's just my game. Yeah, man. So let's hit these motherfuckers straight over the head. With this game, I really want to bet the Sixers, Ian. I really do. Yep. But I'll be dead honest with you. If Embiid's not in this game, I cannot do it. These teams played last year 3 times, obviously, and it was 1-1-1 ATS. Right, that's how close it was. But the one game that Philly smashed was the one game that Embiid played in. They won by 20. Now the other 2 games were combined total 4 points at the end. One obviously won by 3, other Knicks won by 1. That's how close these games are when Embiid's out of the lineup. When he's in the lineup, they're clearly the better team. So I will look the Sixers here. Now, some numbers that stand out to me is I mentioned they're 0-2 straight up last 3 meetings. I did mention about the 1-1 ATS, but the Sixers are 8-0 straight up last 8 in New York. So they play well in motherfucking Madison Square Garden. 10-0 straight up in the last 10 meetings. And the Sixers are 2-0 ATS on the road this year. So, like I mentioned, if Embiid's in the lineup, I will be on Embiid and the Sixers, but I'm not going to, force anything right now. I was looking, though, a little bit at the prop market after last night. Little hesitant, cannot lie. But Alec Burke, I like this kid. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is the minutes. He's got close to 20 now. He started off slow, 3-9, and then had 12 last game. But he's averaged 21.5 points the last 3 meetings he played against Philly. I like this kid. I don't know what's going on in the rotation, but he needs to get minutes. I haven't seen a number out there. I don't know if Ian can find a number, but he hasn't been getting enough minutes. But I think, if we can get a solid number on here, it'll be easy for him to get double-digit points in this game. We just need him to be on the court. Like I mentioned, he's got better each and every game. But, yeah, I look Sixers strictly here if Embiid's out. And if not, I think you kind of have to look New York.
I like what you mentioned about Embiid and the difference, with him playing versus the Knicks last year and him not. There is a significant drop-off in what we saw from the Sixers. That's why I'm waiting to hear if he's in. If he's in, I'm on the Sixers. That will be an official play for me if Joel Embiid does suit up. I think he will when push comes to shove, but I just want to make sure he's in first. By the way, Alex,
every damn game. It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I know. We're going to deal with this and it's not just for knee soreness. It could be a flu, a little cold, a little runny nose, tummy ache. Could be a little bit of everything for Joel Embiid, kind of like last year. Runny nose, he'll end up on the injury report most nights. But Alec Burks, by the way, 10.5 with his points tonight.
You found nice. What's the juice on that, Ian?
-110, -115, depending on which book you're looking at.
Okay, I'll look into that. Good shit.
There you go. 10.5 with that point prop for Alec Burks. Wham, what do you like here? Sixers, Knicks.
Yeah, I was torn in between this game, to be honest with you guys. So I was originally leaning like you guys on the Sixers here, but after doing some numbers looking, man, looks like the Knicks, man, they may have been got a little bit better. A lot of the threes that they were making last year, it kind of already starting off to a hot start. They're shooting the most threes in the league so far, and also in the first quarter, they're making 50% of those threes that they're shooting. They're starting off hot. I would think this would be a good spot to take the Knicks in the first half, like we were doing last year. And also with Embiid and Drummond out, it looks like they may be having a little issues with the rebounding there for the Sixers. I would think, even though we know Tobias Harris was a great rebound prop that we was hitting on in the playoffs as well. But I would just slow down on this game. I think this is probably a backwood. I'm really leaning towards the first half in the Knicks, but I don't think I'm going to get to the window with it just because I was strongly leaning Sixers here. It's probably just going to be a stay away game for me.
All right, Billy Briz, what do you like here in this game?
Man, we started it right off. Cigar game of the night. You know what I smell? I smell chicken wings while I'm sitting next to my boy Ben Simmons in the strip club tonight watching the Sixers ticket cash. Because, man, the Sixers, when you look at this line, I don't know what the bookies are doing. The Sixers have dominated the Knicks, bro. 15 straight dubs against the Knicks. The Knicks haven't beat the goddamn Sixers since April 12th in 2017. Like, damn, dude, that's a long-ass time. The value is on Philly on the road +2. Sixers trifecta spot. We hit the first quarter, first half, full game. Man, you got me fucked up that the Knicks are favored in this game. That Julius Randle may look like God, but he ain't about to look like God against Joel Embiid. For all the Sixer fans out there in the world, or even some of those Clipper fans out there in the world, if there are any that exist, to be honest with you, Doc Rivers always does this with the questionable thing. You know, he thinks he has an edge on other teams by saying the main player is going to be listed as questionable. Doc, bro, we know Joel is playing, bro. You don't have anybody else. Andre Drummond, for the other hand, fuck him. He can slide off to the side. Like, he's looked good this year. We don't need him. Joel Embiid, I'm telling you, is going to snap tonight. And the reason why I like the Sixers first quarter, me and Platinum Paul, shouts to my boy Platinum Paul, we've been doing research on popcornmachine.net about these rotational minutes in the first quarter. And Joel Embiid's only sitting out 2 minutes in the first quarter. Last year, he actually played only like half of the first quarters, and then he would start off the second quarter. Right now, he's playing 10 out of 12 minutes in the first quarter consecutively. So Sixers smack spot all day here.
I like it. I like it, Billy.
Liking the Sixers as well. Some people in the chat disagreeing. It looks like here, but that's all right. I mean, there is a move toward New York. Like I say, the line movement doesn't really impact my thinking in terms of a game. Like, look at Chicago. We all thought hook, line, and sinker. That's a trap line, and really Chicago deserved to win and cover. They barely did, but they did. That's all that matters at the end of the day. So, you know, you can't always buy into this. Oh, the line's going one direction.
One last thing, though, Urbano, I got to say, when in sports betting was it ever smart to put money on the team that's favored, that's lost 15 games in a row against the goddamn other team? Yeah. People are talking about the Sixers are bad in a row. Bro, that's a 20-minute drive to the stadium. That is not a road basketball game. And if you want to talk about road games, the Sixers have been looking good on the road. 4-1 against the spread, last 5 on the road. Man, y'all tripping if y'all back in the Knicks here, bro. 15 L's straight. Think about what you were doing in April of 2017. You damn sure weren't betting the Knicks. So you should.
Hey, if Embiid's in, if Embiid's out though, I know you think he's playing, but if he's out though, you still that confident?
Man, Sixers. First quarter, first half, full game.
Trifecta, no matter, huh?
You know what shocks me though? I think Mitchell is a little bit better on the defense, man. I think the Knicks got better defensively, bro. But I agree with Billy though originally, so I'm gonna let my guy give his shine, bro. I ain't mad at you, bro.
I mean, I'm with him. If he's got Embiid with him, I'm with him. I'm on his team. But yeah, I did check it. Someone said in the stat, the Sixers 0-4-1 as a dog. They do play better as a favorite. You know, they do if you look at it. So. You know, but I like the Sixers here if Embiid, if their guys in there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're all everybody in the NBA world that's planning on watching and betting this game, waiting to see if Embiid going to end up playing. Next game, it's Golden State and Oklahoma City. Golden State 9-point road favorites, 223.5 the total in this game. I'm all over the Warriors here, -9 on the road. I couldn't care less that it's a lot of points to be laying on the road. It's okay, I think, to do it against the absolute worst teams in the NBA, and Oklahoma City fits that bill right now. You look at what they've done the first 3 games. Against Utah, they lose 107-86. You got to be pretty bad to lose by 33 to Houston, 124-91. Oklahoma City managed to do that. And then they lose to actually kind of respectable against Philly, but they still don't cover. And they lose by 12, 115-103. And keep in mind, I think the Sixers showed some mercy on Oklahoma City in the fourth quarter. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, it's just a really horrible team. Defensively, it's just been wretched for them. They've given up ton. Look at the opponents are shooting 41 of 88, 48 of 95, 40 of 91 in the first 3 games. Thunder are giving up, so far this season, 47.1% from the field so far this year, 38% from 3-point range. Just a dreadful defensive basketball team. And that perimeter defense is the concern here when you're going up against Steph Curry here in the Golden State Warriors too. So I think it's just going to be a troublesome matchup here for Oklahoma City. Golden State, great start to the year, 3-0, beating the Lakers, beating the Clippers, beating Sacramento. And you look at the series history with these two teams, Warriors 5-0 against the spread last 5 meetings, 4-1 ATS the last 5 in OKC. And look at the 3 meetings last year, April and 2 meetings in May last season. Golden State was double-digit chalk in all 3 of those games, 12.5 and 13.5 point favorites. They won 147-109, 118-97, 136-97. Blew the Thunder right off the basketball court. What changes tonight? Golden State's actually better this year than they were last year, and Oklahoma City might even be worse. So this is Golden State smash for me, -9. I'd even look first half as well, but I like the full game. I'll stick mostly to just the full game here. Golden State -9. Dutch, what do you like here? Warriors, Thunder.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Chris. He likes first half, I believe he said Warriors. Also, I see Sharpie in the chat, man. Hope you had a good time out here in the 702. Yeah, man. Hopefully it took care of you real good. But yeah, man, Nate Dot 420, my guy. All love. But yeah, I did check too. I appreciate all the love yesterday. We had 250 likes, man, I think plus. So let's match it. Minimum 250 today. Let's go. Let's go.
Hit that like button.
Like button. Yeah, man. Comment if you like down below. I will check in. If you want to reach out to us with a quicker fashion, follow each one of us on Twitter. We'll be more than happy to interact with you. But also comment down below. I'll check in. Don't be shy. Anything. Let me know what you're smoking on, what the play is. Don't be shy, motherfuckers. But yeah, this game, clear. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. I do agree with what Ian said, but if you want me to put my money on this game, shit, man.
There you go. So sees where I'm going, but not ready to lay 9 with Golds. I can understand that, but I look at that series history. I look at them that not defending the perimeter. Oklahoma City so far this year. You could go Golden State team total over too. If you want to be safer in case, they fall asleep or something, or they have the big lead.
Real quick, my bad.
Consider. Yeah,
I did. I did not. I just thought about this. Actually, I was watching Ski and, our guy Jimmy and Loshak this morning. And I think they're all on the team total under Thunder. So if you missed it, maybe I'll like that look. But yeah, to me, I can't put my money on this game.
All right. What do you think here, Wham? Golden State, OKC.
Yes, I was just going to mention that as well. The OKC under team total. That seems like a great play right there. But I agree with you, though, Ian. I think this is a smash spot. This has exactly the resemblance of yesterday's Heat game, in my opinion. Just a bottom feeder team that's just going to get smacked the hell up here. So I think this is a better team for the Golden State Warriors. I'm right there willing to back them with you, taking a -9 with Golden State, man. I think this is a good smash spot here. You're getting all these guys going against teams that they know they could play better than, and I think they will play better, and they have confidence because they beat good teams already.
Like a Golden State minus the points, and also that team total under as well for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Billy, what do you like here?
Man, I'm putting this shit in the Dutch Masters, backwoods or pass. You couldn't pay me to bet this game. This ain't Golden State from 2015. Y'all tripping by -9.5. That's a football number in a basketball game. Pass.
Pass for Billy. We move on now to Houston and Dallas, a little Texas two-step here. Dallas 10.5-point home favorites, 222 being the total in this game. 1-1 start for Dallas so far this year. They beat the Toronto Raptors, lost the opener to Atlanta. They go home now for their home opener tonight against the Houston Rockets. I'm tempted to lay it with Dallas, but I've seen enough of Dallas, especially last year, you guys, where you talk about point spread rolls where you do not always trust a team. Dallas as double-digit home favorites, I don't trust them. I just don't. And this is a spot where they should, in theory, be able to dust off this Houston team, which is just pretty bad. But I'm telling you what, I just don't really love the idea of laying 10.5 yet with this Mavericks team. A Mavericks team that, one game defensively, they're terrible, and the next game offensively, they're good. And then the first game, they struggled to shoot the ball against Dallas. I think more than anything, offensively, you're going to see the Mavs start to shoot a little bit better. They struggled from the field against the Hawks and even against Toronto on Saturday, even though they won both of those games, and both of those games were on the road. Now you're coming back home. I expect the shooting efficiency to be a lot better, the offensive efficiency to be a lot better here for Dallas tonight in their home opener against, let's be honest, a Houston team that's going to be one of the worst defensive teams this year, in my opinion, in the NBA. And I think they're going to struggle here tonight against this Dallas Mavericks team. On the flip side, though, the one thing we have seen from Houston, even in their two losses to Minnesota and Boston, they shot 32 of 75 in the one game, 40 of 88 against Minnesota in the other. They do have some offensive capability, and we know Dallas is not always that defensive team we trust to completely shut a team down. With Kevin Porter, with the rookie, Jalen Green, Christian Wood in the 5 spot. There's some options to put the ball in the hole, if you will, for the Houston Rockets as well. So I'm looking over the total in this game more than a side. It's 221.5. I think you'll see Dallas back home have their best offensive game of the season after kind of struggling from the field against Atlanta and Toronto. Houston's defense will definitely comply to let Dallas have probably their best offensive night so far. And I could see the Rockets contributing to the scoreboard as well against a Dallas defense that, they have lapses during the course of a 48-minute basketball game, and Houston might be able to find their way to some points during those times during the game as well. So I like Houston, Dallas over 221.5 here tonight. Dutch, what do you like here? Mavs and Rockets.
Shout out to our guy, Ray Charles. I see you. Yeah. When it comes to this game, man, I heavy with the wedding cake, my man. I passed that shit, bro. That's what I'm thinking with this game, to be honest with you, though. I'll give you some numbers, though, because we don't got many games. Mavs 0-4 ATS, last 4 at home. And when I look at Dallas, I told you I wasn't that high on them. We talked about a little bit pre-shows. I want to be high on Dallas. I'm a big Luka the Don fan. That's my guy. But when it comes down to it, I just don't like what I hear and what I see from this team, and I'm not sold on Jason Kidd as well. If Rick Carlisle can't get these motherfuckers done, I don't know how we expect Jason Kidd to do it. To be completely honest with you, now they're 1-6 ATS, last 7 after a straight up win. That's Dallas. So even after a win, they still can't fucking do anything right. And then when we look at the Rockets, they play well in this in-state rivalry. Talked about a little bit this morning. 6-2 last 8 in Dallas. That's straight up, or excuse me, ATS, and 7-1 straight up in the last 8 in Dallas. So Houston is the money if you want to bet this game. Realistically, I think you have to. There's no fucking possible way that the Mavericks should be favored by 11. I believe in anybody in the NBA. I mean, if they were playing and seeing good basketball, I could maybe see it, but I haven't seen that. They did show up and finish in the second half against Toronto, but this team doesn't pass the ball. Luka Luka's loading the stat sheet, but they seem more of like a selfish team. They slow. They're nothing appealing about this team except for Luka, to be honest with you. So from a betting perspective, it's either Houston or nothing. But when it comes to my money, it's a clear backwood, my man.
It's a backwood. The backwoods are alive and well today on this Tuesday card for our man Dutch there. Lots of backwood travels today on the Tuesday card. I do like one prop. Wood is good. Christian Wood in this game, over 20.5 points. He scored 22 and 23 in the 2 games last year, I believe, against the Dallas Mavericks head-to-head. So, and he missed the one game because, remember, he was injured for a good portion of last year too, Christian Wood. But when he played against Dallas, he played against them twice for the Rockets, 22 and 23 points in those games. His point prop is 20.5 tonight. We'll go with Christian Wood.
You see that, Ian? I'm too high. See how good that flower is? I forgot. That is the one play that I was thinking about. You see that written down already? I got it. Yeah, 19.5 at plus 100. I looked at it this morning. I was about to lock it in. and I haven't pulled the trigger on that. But yeah, like you said, and he's averaging over 20 this year. He's good. And you tell me who's going to get in his way on a defensive perspective from Dallas. So as long as this game is close, Christian Wood should do his thing.
You don't trust those physical, tough, hard-nosed behemoths as Kristaps Porzingis and Dwight Powell to deal with Wood? Wow.
KP gonna get posterized like Jalen did my boy Miles yesterday. Woo! I can see that coming tonight.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Of course I'm being facetious. Yeah. Billy, what do you think here? Houston and Dallas.
Man, my first thoughts every time I watch a Houston game this year is how in the hell did this GM scout games and thought that Cade Cunningham was better than Jalen Green? I don't know, man. Jalen Green, I didn't watch this game over the Sunday Night Football game when they played the Celtics because I was thinking, why have the Celtics not been covering money for me? I got to watch it.
Close the door.
Jalen Green was slam dunking, hooping, alley-ooping, and duping and scooping. If you want to get parts of this game, hit it in daily fantasy. Like Dutch said, don't throw your money on this game. If you're going to take it, take the over. I like the over in this game. My only concern is it feels like watching Dallas this year, they're getting Luka the Don more off of the point guard role and more in the secondary shooting guard role. And while I think that's better for the team in the real life regular season games, it's not good for us as sports bettors. We want to see Luka Doncic ball hog, shoot that shit, pass the shit the whole entire game. And he hasn't really been doing that this year. We might see it tonight against the Rockets. This defense is horrible. But if this was a closer spread, I would definitely slam some props in this game. But this is a daily fantasy game. If you think this game is going to stay close, hit this draw on a daily fantasy. Play your Jalen Green, your Luka Doncic, your Sengun, whoever you want to play. But don't bet your money on this game. If you think it's close, load up the DraftKings.
So
Backwood. Steven Silas, by the way, says and emphatically said to his team, we got to play fast. We got to push. We got to push the tempo, push the pace. So that's another thing you can expect to see tonight in this game too. And like I say, Dallas is one of those teams, they can slow it down when they want, but if one team's going to play fast, they'll go right along with it. So I think that'll help too in terms of this game going over the total in this one. All right, we got the LA Lakers and San Antonio Spurs.
Wait a minute, you have action on that game?
No, I didn't have no action on that, but I did. I am.
Come on, Ian. You just said
we just Wham. Oh shit, Wham. Go ahead.
He back with your ass.
He already knew what it was, though. No, Ian already knew what it was, bro. It was no big official play on here. But no, I'm just gonna say that what you said about Silas towards the over. That's what I had written down. He doesn't want the pace to go up. And then who's gonna play any defense? Not Kristaps Porzingis. So I definitely did have that Christian Wood written down as well. We were talking about it earlier on Ski Show. Definitely think he's better than Porzingis. But yeah, my apologies, y'all. We keep rolling, bro. This is backward. We pass this shit.
There you go. All right, it's backwoods, except for me. I'm going to the backwoods. These guys are backing out and scared as shit. They don't want.
Hey, Joey Works said that shit yesterday. He said you seem more like a bold guy, not a backward guy. That should have you rolling in the chat.
You know, he's in the back with a little doobie. Come on, man.
All right, we got the Lakers and the Spurs next up. Interesting one. All the money on San Antonio. How about that? 4.5 down to 2.5 now with the Lakers here. 223 being the total in this game. A lot of money on San Antonio, off to a 1-2 start. The Lakers just barely, escaped with their first win of the season against Memphis. Of course, we're talking about a Lakers team that hasn't won a game, by more than 3 points this year. So maybe that's what people saw in the 4.5. But now it's down here to 2.5 in this game. The Spurs losing to Denver and then at home against Milwaukee. Pretty tough back-to-back, playing some pretty good teams. And that was definitely an issue. And Popovich already bringing out the excuses, saying pretty tough schedule. Letting his team off the hook for losing those games. It was the schedule. It wasn't we played like shit. It was the schedule. That's why we lost. You got to love Pop. He's making excuses now in his old age. But nevertheless, Spurs end up with the 1-2 start to the year. Lakers finally got their first win after losses to Golden State and Phoenix. Got past Memphis, 121-88. We'll see if they can carry over that momentum from that win here tonight against the Spurs. I don't really have a strong opinion on this one from a side perspective or a totals perspective. They've got LeBron listed as a game time decision, but I'd expected him to play. He has been downgraded to questionable with the ankle, but You know, he had the sore right ankle too coming out of the win against Memphis. It's been bothering him, he said. So we're going to have to wait and see. They say the decision whether he'll play is probably going to come right before tip-off. So keep an eye on the status of LeBron. That's definitely been part of why the money's come in on San Antonio. Regardless of whether LeBron's in or not, Russell Westbrook, you know, I cashed a turnovers prop with him already once this year on this show, and he's had 4 or more turnovers in every game. His turnover prop, in the most part, has been set consistently in this, 3.5 range pretty much every single game. And I'm tempted to go right back to it. Like, he had 9 turnovers in the Memphis game on Sunday. So, again, it's just taking them time. Even when he knows the players around him, he has still a difficult time, valuing the basketball and hanging on to it. Some books have 3.5, some have 4.5 with his turnovers prop, but I'm just willing to go right back to that well again. Once again, treating the basketball like a hand grenade is a routine occurrence for Russell Westbrook, and it's been more of the same through 3 games here with this Lakers team. Dutch, what do you like here? Lakers Spurs.
Yeah, shout out to that guy, Top Shelf Plays, like in the Lakers first half. I don't know, my man. Lakers to me, I don't want to hurt no feelings here, but Lakers to me look like an auto fade. Like, I don't. If you want to bet them, like, I feel like we missed the money here when you could have got the Spurs 4.5, 5. I think might even been out there. I know it's 4.5 was for sure hit the board. And they might come back because I think it's back to 3. It went down to 2.5. It's back to 3. But man, if you betting the Lakers, bro, I don't know what you're seeing. Like, I'm be honest with you, they fucking shot lights out last game. They've been shooting lights out. They lead the league in threes and field goal percentage. And they shot 50.
Melo had 8.
I know. He exactly my fucking point. That he had 8 threes, 28 motherfucking points. They shot over 53% from the field and 3-point line, and barely got the fuck out of LA for the win against Memphis. Yep. And if Morant didn't miss the fucking free throw, they're going to OT. Now we got LBJ beat the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? We got who knows what's gonna happen with Melo? You expected 28 again? I mean, he might give you 18. But 28 and 8 threes, I'm sure he's still feeling himself from that fucking performance. I don't know how you back the Lakers here, to be honest with you. I don't know how you do it. More power to you if you can, and I hope you go to the window. But my ass is not betting this game. I missed the line with the Spurs. And it does scare me a little bit that everybody's on the Spurs, and now you see the money coming in a little on Lakers, then back to San Antonio. But I don't know how you lay more than 3 points on the road with LA.
Yeah, it's probably an Anthony Davis prop game if LeBron doesn't play. So maybe you go that route, over 25.5 points for AD if we get no LeBron tonight. That would be something I'd be interested in as well. Plus, of course, as I mentioned, Russell with the turnover prop over. I'm going back to that well again. Wham, what do you like here, Lakers Spurs?
Well, man, I'm going to be so against whatever Dutch just said about the Lakers, bro. Because you know what, though? Let's be honest. The Lakers were favored to win the West, right? It's only been 3 games, and now they're only a short favorites on the road against San Antonio. That does kind of tell me that maybe it's just a lot of media hype machine going on around here about the Lakers, because they definitely show up, and they do show that they are the show. I mean, I'm a Laker fan. They make a show out of every fucking thing, especially with LeBron being a part of this team. And I think LeBron isn't going to play on the first leg of a back-to-back because they do play tomorrow against OKC. I think they may have to rest him a little bit for there. And I like the Lakers, man. I like the Lakers in a short number. They did show a little bit better. They did fall off, but it was a good team that they played. Let's give a little credit to the Grizzlies. They are a good team. They have one of the best bench in the league as far as the Grizzlies. This is not a great bench from the San Antonio Spurs, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to stop LeBron if he is playing? Who's going to stop AD in this team? Like, I don't see any of that happening here. As far as Russ, I hope LeBron is out because I already locked in. I know Dutch will like this number, plus 420 for Russell Westbrook to get a triple-double here, bro. So I'm rocking with that. I like that a lot. He's already was there, close to 3 rebounds away, I believe a few assists away last 2 games. So he almost had a triple-double over the last 2 games, and I was with LeBron. Without him, I really like that value, and especially I know that line will drop when he's announced out if he is. I'd like the Lakers here, man. I think the Lakers are getting a discount here. Just take them right now, bro. They got an easy schedule. Maybe it's made up for that for the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Get everybody thinking the Lakers is weak, and then they just start running, steamrolling through these weak teams. And that's kind of how I see it playing out. So that's why I'm going to back here today. Lakers. It's probably going to be my best bet of the day, bro. I'm just giving y'all that heads up.
There we go. Lakers
yo.
laying points on the road. This is going to end well. We hope, of course.
Quickly though, if LBJ is ruled out, I actually think I will like the Lakers better. See, to me, it's like they have 3 stars that can't connect. It's almost last year with the Nets when they had Harden, all 3 of them on the court. When one was out, they were a little better, you know. So I personally think if LBJ is ruled out, I love the triple-double prop, obviously, with Russ. But you might see a better basketball team, just more flow. Because when LBJ and Russ are on the court, it doesn't match. They got to figure it out. LBJ's got to play the 4 or something because Russ has to have the ball in his hand to be effective on the court, in my opinion.
Too disjointed, the offense. Too disjointed with the 2 of them on the floor. I've seen that as well so far. And look, chemistry, especially with guys with, the ability and ego, to be honest with you, of Westbrook and Braun and AD, that's going to take time to develop. That's not just something that 1 week, 2 week into the seasons, we're clicking and we're rolling on all cylinders with these guys. And that's clearly been shown in the first few games for the Lakers. What do you like here, Billy?
Man, like Wham said, dude, I don't want to sound like Mystic Mac or anything, but if you go inside the crystal ball and you time travel a little bit to about 10 o'clock East Coast time, I think LeBron's going to be out tonight, man. Call me crazy. First half of a back-to-back. If you ask LeBron James, the king, you asked him, you want to play against OKC or you want to play against San Antonio? I don't know about you, but, Russ, go get that confidence boost up, bro. Go play the Spurs tonight.
He likes to bust Pop's ass, though.
And then they play OKC tomorrow. So I'm laying off of this game because I think if you want to hit the Russ props, it's got to be the revenge spot tomorrow night in OKC, right? So tonight might be an AD night. Overall, though, like broad view scheme of things, I don't got a good read on this Lakers team. Like on paper, like it makes sense that they're supposed to be good, but when you watch them in the game, like Dutch said, like, this team ain't it, bro. It reminds me of like the Chiefs in the NFL. You keep on thinking that they're nice until they're really not that nice anymore. Like maybe the Lakers just need a month or two, but until that month or two, I won't have my money on it.
All right, there we go. We've got the second TNT game, final game on the Tuesday slate here. Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz. Utah -7. Home favorites here, 218 the total in this game. Total is actually being bet down. When you look at this game in terms of from an injury standpoint, obviously the only questionable right now is on the Denver side with PJ Dozier, but he's been upgraded to probable. The total's been dropping. I know with Denver, it's the second night of back-to-back games, and they lose outright against Cleveland last night as 9-point home favorites, losing to the Cavs. I'd expect Denver to be a lot better here, and I'd expect them to have a pretty good game, a bounce back. I don't mind the back-to-back with travel this early in the season. Usually Utah, especially in Utah on the second night of back-to-backs, it's a little bit difficult. But I think I would lean to Denver here with the points, and I'm stunned the total's this low, especially when we've seen a lot of evidence that when Denver and Utah play, whether it's regular season or the playoff meetings they've had in the past, both teams have been able to match up quite well offensively. And we've seen most of the games get above the kind of total we're seeing here for this particular game tonight. I know Utah 2-0, their defenses look great so far. And I think that's playing a part. People are saying, wow, the Jazz, they're looking really sharp defensively. They're holding teams fewer than 40% from the field in the first 2 games. Well, you played Oklahoma City and Sacramento. That played a little bit of a part in that defensive showing from the Jazz the last couple of teams. And look, Denver's going to be able probably to throw a lot more at this Utah team and their defense than those 2 teams did. And on the flip side, you look at Utah, how well and how efficient they just shoot the ball, particularly at home here at Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City. I definitely think this total is shockingly low. I thought something in the 220s, and it opened 220, and it's been bet down to 218. I'm not afraid to take a stance against this total's move down and go the other way, looking over this number of 218, especially when you factor in, like I said, the series history with the Jazz and the Nuggets, recent meetings here, overs 8-3 in the last 11 head-to-head meetings, 5-2 in the last 7 here in Utah. Last 2 meetings, 245 and 247 were the total points scored between these 2 teams. And the total in those games were 214.5, 219.5. And we saw 240s in both of those games. So I do like over 218. I like Denver +7. And I like the Joker here over points, assists, and rebounds because he seems to play great against Utah. I mean, he has really feasted on the Jazz. I think he gets fired up. It's a little bit of a rivalry. He gets to test his acumen against a pretty solid defender down low and Rudy Gobert as well. And I think he gets up for these performances and these nights playing the Jazz. So you look at Jokic here over his points, assists, rebounds. I like that, along with the Nuggets plus the points and the over 218 in this game. Dutch, what do you like here? Nuggets, Jazz.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Black Thor. Seen him up in there. Tone said Utah covers 90% at home. He said, look it up. I'm like, I know they win a lot at home, but cover 90%, bro? I might have to look that up. But yeah, real quick, like, hit that button. I don't know how many motherfucking likes we got, but it ain't enough. Make sure you hit the motherfucking like button. Real quick, like, appreciate it. Share the video if you can. It's muchly appreciated. Lit picks, my guy. Denver +7 in that first quarter, 2.5. Yeah, you know, I'll save that first quarter for Wham Bam. But yeah, I really like Denver here first half off a loss. I locked it in at +4. Now, looking at this meeting last year, they played 3 times. Overall, Utah was 2-1. ATS won 2 out of the 3 games. But when it came to the first half, Nuggets 3-0 ATS in the first half. Last 3 meetings, +12 in the margin. So they come out ready to rock and roll. Utah, you know, does play very well at home, and I don't want to get cute here, but I would look Utah -7 full game. But I wouldn't take anything of Denver first or full game. I like them first half. I endorse that first quarter. I think they get out hot. I don't do well with first quarters though, so I'm taking the +4. Easy money to me. I feel like I look at Denver coming off an embarrassing loss at home. You touched on the back-to-back. It's early. Let's take advantage of it. This should be a very competitive game. I expect Utah to win at home because that's just what they do. But Denver, first half, first quarter, I like it as well. Let's go.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Split it up. But if you don't want it all on the full game, you could go first quarter, first half as well, which, again, maybe before.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the back-to-back, when you're playing in Utah, the second of the back-to-back, it's usually very difficult. But I think early in the season, Denver could cope with it. And a lot of teams, I think, could cope with it better than, say, if you were doing this in January, February, and the wear and tear of a long season by that point has gotten to you. So definitely, I think Denver, if you want to be a little bit safer, you could split it up more between first half and full game. Wham!
I do real quick. My fault. I do. That ice cream cake is strong, bro. That shit is strong. I do got a prop I locked in on this game too. This is why I be writing shit down. And I still fucking forget. God damn it. But yeah, I like Bogdanovich. I really like him in this game. I don't think this game will be a blowout. So let's pray that it ain't no fucking blowout. A decent competitive game. Denver hops out early and let's go. But he's averaged 31 points the last 3 meetings versus this fucking team. He's averaged 17 on the season. I look for Bogdanovich to do very well. Now he has 18 fucking 3-pointers against these guys in the 3 meetings, and so he's averaging 5. He's had 5 or more threes in each one of these games versus them last year. So if you like, I also like over 2.5 threes plus 116, 115. Bogdanovich. I really like the over 16.5 as well, -110. We'll get it done with Bogdanovich and Denver first half. My bad.
All right, awesome stuff. There you go. Some props as well for this Denver-Utah game from our man Dutch. Wham. Go ahead, Denver-Utah.
Yeah, so we all know that I love to go ahead and take on these first quarters with Denver. This is a good spot here because we're getting the underdog price. So when you peel back the numbers, you try to look into what happened yesterday. Well, yesterday it was a flat spot that obviously was in a look ahead, and it's possibly one of the toughest front courts Jokic was going to see. Didn't seem like it was affecting him because he still got his. But Mobley and Jared Allen is probably the toughest he's going to see. And this is a game that he's definitely used to. They've been in the playoffs with this matchup here. I believe that this Utah team continues to start off slow like they have been over the past year and a half. They have been doing this well this year. And it's the other way around for this Denver team. They shoot 50% from the field in the first quarter. They don't shoot that many threes because they're taking a lot of easy shots. They'll do a screen, pick and roll with Will Barton just to get everybody started going. So that's the type of team that you definitely want to look into in the first quarter. And I did split the unit, man. I got the +2.5 first quarter Denver. Also took the money line +153. It's only right, bro. We already cashed it against the Suns. This is a similar spot here against a competitive opponent. They could make sure they take care of business here. They should have the deeper team that's knocking down shots. It is going to be something I'm looking into as far as props though, because I did see Royce O'Neal hit the 2 and 1.5 threes last game. I'm going to be paying attention to it right now, but I don't want him to do none of that in the first quarter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, save it for the last part of the
Wink,
game
wink.
there, Royce. Yeah, exactly. Just don't go off there in the first quarter, first half. We'd appreciate that. Certainly Wham would. Billy, what do you like here? Denver, Utah.
Favorite spot on the card tonight. We're going to take Denver Nuggets. Grab your blunts for this one. This is the late night West Coast hammer spot. Nuggets are 8-2 on the road in the second half of back-to-backs since 2018. Denver has only been a dog by more than 6.5 points 9 times in the last 3 years, going 5-4 ATS. I like this spot here. I know Utah is a home team that everybody loves to back. But Denver +7 here in this spot. I think it's a juicy little spot. Like Wham said, they were looking ahead to this spot for today. Like I feel like any capper that capped games yesterday, you're shot out if you bet the Denver Nuggets yesterday. I say that with being I bet on the goddamn Timberwolves yesterday. But shouts to Wham, he made my money back with Chris Duarte, my boy. But as I digress a little bit, Nuggets all day here. And I'm thinking about sprinkling on the first quarter, but we got to see how the rest of the night goes because we're heavily invested in the Sixers game.
There we go. Liking the Nuggets here in this late night game, TNT game, by the way. It's the second of their doubleheader tonight, Denver and Utah. Great stuff from Dutch, from Wham, and from Billy on this Tuesday NBA card. 5 games. Looking forward to seeing how it all goes down. Someone was asking in the chat, World Series. I'll give you my World Series thoughts now because
World Series show comes
spot.
on actually in like 15 minutes. So,
there you go with Connor and Sharpie are going to be doing that. So make sure you tune in for that. I don't have a strong opinion on game 1 tonight, to be honest with you. I did bet Houston. Now I've got Atlanta as a future that I bet way back at the beginning of the year to win the World Series. So this is kind of like a hedge thing that I've got going on because I thought the Braves were done when Acuna went out and they started to struggle a bit, but they won the division. And even then I'm like, are they really going to get to the World Series, get past, the Dodgers if they face them? But they have. So I'm happy about that, but I'm kind of worried about them in this series. I don't know. I think Houston, there's something to say that needs to be said about them wanting to, expunge their this cheating reputation they have from the previous World Series titles they've won. Whereas if they win this year, people can say, you know what? Wow, we're legit now. We show you we don't need to cheat to win. We don't need to cheat to be the best team in baseball. So I think there's that incentive that's fueling them, and they are playing good ball right now. I think they'll probably win the series, but I don't want to undersell Atlanta because they have played good. Their bullpen's been better. Starting pitching staff led by Fried and tonight's starter Morton's been good. But when I look at this series, I think Houston's bullpen, which has been phenomenal, to be honest with you. In the Boston series, it certainly was. It could be the difference when it's all said and done. Reluctantly, I'm on the series price for Houston, -140. But I want the Braves' future to cash. Obviously, I'd love to see it, but I'm looking at the probably Houston winning the series. I honestly don't have a strong opinion on the game tonight. I think it's tricky, too, where you look at Houston's had some time off as well prior to this game. How sharp will they be? The good news for Atlanta is Valdez is pitching on regular rest. So we'll have to wait and see. It's just a game. I'd rather see game 1 tonight, and then I'll probably have a stronger opinion on game 2 and subsequent games in the series. So all I'll say is I did bet Houston -140 to win this World Series. That's what I bet pregame, and that's probably the only thing I'll bet here in game 1 tonight between the Astros and the Braves. Good stuff from everybody on the show. Thanks to everybody in the chat for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We appreciate it. We got pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson. What happened to pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson on Sunday against Cincinnati? That I'd like to know. Gerald Jones, 586 sold. Michael O'Brien, Brandon McGill, money line or spread, top shelf plays. Joe Chris, can't get right. TESR support. Gerald Jones, we appreciate Maxwell Smart. Make sure you tune into Maxwell Smart's college basketball stuff on the channel. He's doing videos throughout the week, last week, this week. He's got his show coming up in a couple of weeks when the season starts. So check that out for sure. Black Thor King, Lotus Scalper, Oboro Time, Nate Dog 420, Josh Pikosh, Jimmy Gomez, Jeremiah McCoy, Joe Free, Brad Hunt, Joe Rich Ramirez, Sharon, Lit Picks, Rick the Ruler, 713, Puzzler, Sharpie again. Oh, when is that? 5:30 Eastern. There we go. 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. Yeah, I've got the Atlanta I'm Braves. I'm team Braves. I want the futures to cash, but I'm worried about this damn Houston team. That's the issue that I've got. But
Yo,
hopefully
the goal's got to be
Braves
to get the goal. My bad, Ian's got to get Mr. Shout out to our guy. I need money, Mr. Can't get right. We gotta have his name by the end of the season, Mr. Get Right. You know what I'm
Mr.
saying?
Got right, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Got right.
yeah. Get that. I can't get right. You know, we gotta change that, bro. To Mr. Get Right or Got Right.
Yeah,
we'll take care of that for you, my guy.
Yeah, if I were to look at a Braves prop, total bases, home run prop, Joe Free is on to something with Eddie Rosario. Of course, what a great series he had against in the NLCS against the Dodgers, MVP of that series. What a great acquisition by my Canadian buddy, by the way, Alex Anthopoulos, the general manager of the Atlanta Braves, who's done a great job with that organization. He got Rosario. No, people didn't pay attention. It's like Eddie Rosario. It's an afterthought. It's not an afterthought now. The guy's had a hell of a playoff so far, especially in the NLCS. So definitely Eddie Rosario. If you're interested in props tonight, player props in that game one, I could see that for sure. Real Deal Prime. There we go. Black Thor King. There we go. We got everybody. Elijah Blair. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. We'll get to best bets, freshest look for Dutch to wrap up the show in just a second. First, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, make sure you stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Southtown 101 in San Antonio. It's a question of when, not if. I'll eventually be getting down there, and when I do, I'll be going there for sure. Manscaped, promo code PubSports. You get 20% off your purchase using the promo code PubSports. Lawnmower 4.0. And any Manscaped product on the website, you get 20% off using the promo code PubSports. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season, still plenty left. NBA's here, NHL's here, college basketball is going to start in a couple weeks. UFC, go on and on. Sports betting, this is when everything converges at the same time. So sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right. Time for best bets to wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. We'll go around the horn as we always do. Dutch, we'll start with you. What do you got for us for our freshest look tonight?
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to the motherfucking Salt Lake City. We're going first half, Mile High, Denver Nuggets, +4. Easy money right here. Like I mentioned, +12. First half of the last 3 meetings. Coming off an ass whooping to a team that they definitely should have won, favored by 9.5. Now, I look for them to come out hungry. From start to finish, going to be a good close game, but they will cover this +4 first half. Yeah, man.
All right, there you go. Denver Nuggets +4 first half against Utah. Freshest look for Dutch. Wham, what do you got for best bet?
Oh, yeah, so we're going to just go right back to it, man. Go right back to it. I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to actually add 2 here. I'm going to start off with the first one that we already mentioned. It's the Lakers, -2.5. Definitely think that AD is going to have a great game. I think Russ is going to have a great game as well. I still think that Ian could cash his turnover prop as well, but I think that the Lakers are the play here. They will be the better team from the bench and on. And also, I added as well, double back from with Dutch. I'll take the first quarter with Denver +2.5. That's a great play as well. Both of these are my best plays for today.
All right, there you go. Best bet there from Wham. I don't mind that, the Randall double-double. Brandon's mentioning that +150, and he has recorded them double-doubles in back-to-back games, both against Orlando, though. Can you do it against Philly? That's going to be the question mark. I don't hate it. I didn't bet it, but I don't hate that look by any stretch. +150, Julius Randle, a double-double. Billy, what do you got for best bet?
you know, straight off the grip. If you're down there in the San Antonio area, or maybe if you're not, make sure you buy the Talking Hand shirt, Pub Sports Radio website, or you can scroll right down there in the video and get yourself a Pub Sports Radio t-shirt. Company man shit, man. Got company shirts all over the place. But I'm going to pull up a Bano here. Best bet tonight is going to be Manuel in the Contender Series tonight. But since this is a basketball show, I won't give you Manuel Torres as my best bet. But my best bet today is going to be the Sixers +2. I'm telling you, Sixers trifecta spot. Me and Ben going to be at the strip club with the chicken wings. I'm telling you, it's going to go down tonight.
There you go. All right, we'll give you +2.5 now because it's +2.5 now with the
Man, you give me the money line. We sweeping the Knicks. Make it 16 in a row.
There you go. And that's by the way, if you want to just skip the points and go money line, you can get about +120 to +125 most places with the Sixers money line tonight against the Knicks. Best bet for Billy. I'm going to give you two best bets. I was disappointed. Our man Scotty Barnes, only 3 rebounds. He wasn't that pit bull on the glass that I was expecting last night. So we'll give you one side and one total. We're going to go Golden State -9 against Oklahoma City, actually -9.5. The current number, we'll go with that. Warriors -9.5 against the Thunder. Warriors come out and play. I think they will tonight because they've smacked down the Thunder repeatedly in recent games, and I think it happens again tonight. Golden State -9.5 against Oklahoma City for best bet number 1. And best bet number 2 is going to be Houston-Dallas over 221.5. I think that game, a higher scoring game. Dallas shoots the ball better against a pretty weak and rough Rocket defense. And on the flip side, Houston will contribute to the scoreboard against a Dallas team that I don't think plays locked-in defense for 48 minutes. I don't think they're capable of it. So I think we see points in that game. Rockets-Mavs over 221.5. The other best bet for me on this Tuesday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub Tuesday, October 26th. We thank everyone in the chat for joining us. We'll be back with you tomorrow for another edition of the show. For Dutch, for Billy, for Trot Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. Cash some tickets. We'll see you Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, again for the NBA Pub Hub. MLB closing time coming up 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Jimmy and Bebsy Beat the Line NFL show tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Make sure you check that out as well right here on Pub Sports Radio. And with that said, Dutch, take us home.
Closing time in like 15 minutes.
Yes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, check it out. MLB. Get that money. Get that show money. But y'all, you know what it is, man. Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to hit the like button. Share the video if you can. We're about to hit these motherfuckers straight over the head. Y'all stay fresh. Stay blessed. And let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah.
We be pumping.